let me first clarify. There were two resupply boats and then two Philippine Coast Guard vessels. The objective of the Philippine Coast Guard, since I would like to highlight, the resupply mission is purely AFP mission. The Philippine Coast Guard was just tasked to provide security escort and then assistance to make sure that the resupply mission will be properly escorted as we proceed to Ayungin Shoal. During the operation, one of the Philippine Coast Guard vessel was blocked by the China Coast Guard vessels. Like three of them, nagsama-sama sila for them to intercept our Coast Guard vessel.
Okay.
That's the reason why there is only one supply boat na nawalan siya ng kabady na Philippine Coast Guard vessel.
Okay.
And then these two supply boats were escorted only by one Philippine Coast Guard vessel. And during the time that the Philippine Coast Guard vessel was also being water cannon, at the same time the supply boat was also water cannon. Yung isang supply boat was able to escape from their attempt to intercept this one supply boat.
Second clarification, Commodore. Yung pangalawang supply boat, according to China, ang laman daw is construction materials. Totoo bang may construction materials? It's just a statement of fact, right?
Well, as far as the Philippine Coast Guard is concerned, we are aware and we are also advised that the cargo loaded on these two supply boats are just food, fuel, water, and personal supplies of the soldiers assigned BRP Sierra Madre. There's no such thing as the first boat carrying the food and personal supplies, and then the other boat carrying the construction materials.
So where would they have gotten that idea, do you think?
Well, it is not an idea, because as far as we are concerned, what I'm saying is the fact. They are just probably speculating, and they're also supporting their own argument that the reason why they are attempting to block our supply boats, it's because one of those boats are carrying construction materials.
But we do, Commodore, we do fix and refurbish the BRP Sierra Madre, right? That I think is with the AFP.
Yes.
Right? Hindi sa Coast Guard yun.
Yes.
Kasi yung mga tao naman nila yung nakastasyon doon. Would you know kung kailan nakaschedule yung mga, kasi they should be getting materials also. So when do those trips happen? And magkaiba ba yung trips ng food and supplies? Magkaiba yung repairs, trips? Or how
I'm
does
sorry,
that work?
Shan, but I don't know the schedule of the the instances that they're going to repair. But again, the Department of Foreign Affairs also mentioned that we have all the right to refurbish our Philippine Navy vessel there.
But speaking of resupply mission, I just would like to get your idea on how to push through with this mission. I understand AFP nga yun naka-assign, but there are some recommendations like former Senator Antonio Trillanes mentioned in one of our interviews that maybe it would be better if the AFP will just airdrop the supply to BRP Sierra Madre. Is that
Natawa si
possible?
Commodore.
Ano ba siya?
Natawa si Commodore.
Okay ba yung idea na yun?
Baka hindi.
Well, airdrop is a possibility. Actually, we did that before. I think it was 2014 or 2015 that we did the airdrop to do the resupply for our soldiers on board. But my personal take on this is, well, I respect the recommendation of the former Senator Trillanes about it, since he is also a former naval officer. So basically, he understood the resupply operation. But my personal take on this is that why are we going to allow China to decide on how are we going to do the resupply? If we're going to be threatened with the possibility that they're going to intercept once again our next resupply, then what's the point, right? What's the point of us asserting our sovereign rights over these waters? What's the point of the Philippine Coast Guard trying to still maintain our presence in the West Philippine Sea? And I think the armed forces of the Philippines and the Philippine Coast Guard will always be wanting to show our strength, and our Coast Guard sailors would also want to perform this duty in asserting our presence in the West Philippine Sea. And through that, we have to do the resupply.